Hope everyone's staying safe. I've been getting some questions about the payment deferment option that some of these banks are giving out. So I figured I'd go on here and just answer some of the questions I've been getting. Question is, are banks giving up to 6 months in deferment? The answer is, well, it depends. Some banks are giving 6 months. It's an ever-changing environment right now. We don't know. There is no set or exact amount of time that the banks are giving. It is right now a fluid situation, as we say. So definitely take advantage of the deferment or the forbearance option. If you cannot make your payment, best option is to make your payment, obviously. But the next best option, if you cannot make your payment, is to definitely contact your lender, contact your mortgage bank, and start the deferment, the forbearance process. Question is deferring your payment affect your credit? The answer is no, it does not affect your credit score. However, if you are in deferment or forbearance status, you will not be able to refinance your mortgage. So if you are on the market or will be in the market to refinance your mortgage once the rates come back down, try your best to not go into deferment status or into a forbearance status. If you can make your payment, we advise that you go ahead and continue to make your payment. If you absolutely cannot make your payment, then obviously take advantage of the option. But to answer the question, no, it does not affect your credit, but it may prevent you from getting financing or additional financing that you may seek in the future. Question, should I defer my credit card payments? If you absolutely cannot make your credit card payment, yes, defer them. We go back to the same advice. If you can make your payments, do it. Remember, guys, these deferment or forbearance options are not payment forgiveness. So you will have to repay this sooner or later, right? So it's not a payment forgiveness. So if you can make your payment, make it. A better option that I like is to find zero interest transfers on credit cards. So you may be able to find an offer from a credit card or two that offer you a 0% to transfer your balances. That's a much better option than trying to defer your credit card payment and still pay interest on them. So look out for that. I have a conventional mortgage with a 4.125 rate. Is it a good time to refinance? I'd say it depends, right? So if we're pulling out equity on the refinance to either reinvest that equity or to debt consolidate, lower your overall monthly obligations, then yes, now's a good time to do it. If the purpose of the refinance is only to lower the interest rate, it's not a very good time. The benefit of lowering your rate does not outweigh the cost of doing the refinance, right? So 30-year fixed mortgage, the rates are about 3.6, 3.7 right now. And the difference from a 4.1 to a 3.6 just doesn't outweigh, that benefit doesn't outweigh the cost of refinancing. So I'd say hold on. If you switch from a 30-year mortgage to a 15-year mortgage, then absolutely it is a good time to refinance. So those are 3 scenarios where it makes sense to refinance and 1 where it doesn't. Hope that helps. The SBA loans went into effect today. Where can I apply? Actually, a good friend and client of mine works at a small commercial bank. My opinion, this is the best type of bank to do these loans for you. They have more of a personal customer service. Send me a text and I'll put you in contact with my friend. He is a branch manager at this bank. If I refinance, are there closing costs? The answer is yes. There are some closing costs associated with refinancing. You have the option of paying it out of pocket at closing, including it or adding it to the loan amount. That way you don't pay it out of your own pocket at closing, or a mix of the two, right? Maybe you want to pay some of the cost out of pocket. Maybe you want to include the other part in the loan and so forth. So to get from that, yes, there are some closing costs, but you have the option of not paying out of pocket at closing. You can add it to your loan if you wanted to. If my landlord defers his mortgage payment, do I then have the right to not pay my rent? Short answer is no. The landlord's agreement with the tenant is independent or separate from the landlord's or the owner's agreement with his mortgage bank, right? So, and we can have a long conversation about this, but short answer is yes, you have to pay your rent. You cannot defer your rent if your landlord defers his mortgage. A scenario that I'm currently dealing with now, this may help some of you out there. Client has a 4.5 fixed on a conventional mortgage. We're getting them down to a 3.625, and he has a closing cost of about $5,000, right? So he's asking me if it makes sense for him to refinance. I did the calculations, and we're saving him so much money that in 13 months he will cut even, meaning that the money that he's saving monthly makes up that $5,000. And and I asked him, have you thought about the cost of not refinancing, right? So essentially, he agrees, and he signed up today, and we're saving him a ton of money. So that's something that you guys can kind of do your own calculations, right? See, compare your closing cost to the amount of savings you're getting monthly, and see where that cut even or break even point is. Anything that's under 3 years makes sense if you're going to live in the property medium to long term.